Nana, put the radio on. Glenn Miller's on.
Consequently, this country is at war with Germany.
3rd of September 1939. As Adolf Hitler invaded Poland, our great nation, with our loyal subjects, declared war against Hitler. As Throckley went silent, some people didn't know what to do, didn't know what to say. People didn't know what was coming, and people didn't know what to expect. And of course, people were worried about gas attacks and bombing raids over the skies of Throckley. But luckily, Throckley and the surrounding areas were quiet for a few months at least. Then people started to dig the gardens up as they were installing Anderson shelters. Families would get together and make blackout curtains. At the time, lads were coming out the coal mine to go and sign up with other lads from likes of Blutcher, North Bottle, Leamington. They would all sign up at the drill hall down at Newburn. The Royal Northumberland Fusiliers marched up Newburn Road and stood to attention outside St Mary's Church in Throckley. As mother's eyes turned into tears, very proud but very sad at the same time. Kids playing around, grandparents smiling, but not confident that Germany would be defeated. Friends looking on, thinking, when will I be called up? Standing proud that day was James Glennon. He worked to North Bottle Pit. He became a prisoner of war later on. James Henderson from Throckley. He was wounded on the front line, got patched up, then realised his friends were missing. He went looking for them, but got caught as well. Sergeant Charles Keaton. He was killed in action. As 1940 come around, battery-powered radios was the major source for information for people. Winston Churchill became our new Prime Minister. As family and friends gathered around the radio, Winston Churchill spoke in Parliament.
To defend our island, whatever the cost may be, we shall fight on.
From the top of the country to the bottom of the country, every village, every town, every city was full of confidence that we could win this war. The 3rd of May 1941. It was a Saturday night, around 11:30. Ken Wright and Violet, they were courting at the time. They were both about 18-year-old. They were both standing in the doorway of one of the shops after a good night watching a movie at the Lyric in Throckley. They both heard a whistle of bombs. They ran for their lives in panic towards Woodside Avenue. Unknown, straight towards them where the German bomb fell, in Throckley Dean. There was no major damage. Several windows were blown out, and a few rooftops slightly rearranged. Later on in 1945, they both got married at St Mary's Church, Throckley. As the Americans joined the war, bringing new hope to the country. Spirits were high, but still our lads were getting killed. 1942 come around. Them days, every little village pulled together, doing events for war funding. Blutcher Home Guard would have darts matches. They would have concerts. Mrs. Stevenson from Throckley House. They would have meetings at Drill Hall at Newburn and also at Throckley House, where the ladies would get together and make things for the Red Cross, for soldiers in the field, and people at home. The ladies at Mount Pleasant raised money to help the soldiers. They would listen to the radio as Germany was calling, Lord Ha Ha. They would find it funny, sitting back in the chair, knitting socks, and making squares for blankets. 1943. There was a shortage of coal. There was a shortage of coal miners. So people would mix coal dust with soapy water to make duff balls. We still had a few lads at home working in the coal mines or working at Vickers, making the bullets for the lads. We built a prison camp up Darras Hall. It's posh up there, isn't it? We brung a German plane down at North Bottle next to St John's Church. 1943 come along. As there still was a shortage of butter in Throckley, if you kept your own pigs, you wouldn't get no bacon ration. People still hiding in the shelters. In cellars if you were posh enough. 1944. Britain was still building. Things were getting better. The coal was pumping out. But our lads were still getting killed. 1945, it was over. People were celebrating in the streets with street parties. Neighbours that you never spoke to, you spoke to. People that you fell out with, you forgive. Dancing, singing, bingo. There were tears in people's eyes. Our sons were coming home. Wives were washing the sheets. Kids crying in the street. I'm gonna see my dad. St. Michael's church bells were ringing. You could keep your lights on at night. Our lads are coming home, where they belong. From darkness to light, our boys were coming home. But also there was sadness, as some of our lads wouldn't be coming home. They would be staying where they are, where they laid, where they rested, where they took the last breath.